Good evening, everyone. We're now live on our Facebook and YouTube channels, and we continue our virtual Chai Chat series. My name is Gulshan. I'm with American Center Tashkent, and I'm very excited today to introduce our guest speaker, a Vice Consul in the U.S. Embassy in Tashkent, working on visa issues and American Citizen Services, Ivan Zhivkov. Hi, Ivan.
Hello, Gulshan. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here, Ivan. This is Ivan's second tour as an American diplomat. He lived for 3 years in Russia, working as a vice consul in the United States consulate in Yekaterinburg. Ivan enjoys the warm weather of Uzbekistan and especially the national cuisine. And today we will learn from Ivan about summer work and travel program. This is the program that we get a lot of questions about, and we really appreciate that Ivan is going to tell us more about this program. And I also want to remind everyone that we are live, so please put your questions in the comment sections below this video, and we will get to them after the presentation. Thanks again, Ivan, and over to you.
Thank you, Gulshan, and welcome everybody. This is my second Chai Chat that I've done on this program. I'm very excited. We're talking about the summer work and travel program, and this is a program that's very near and dear to my heart. Now, how this is going to work is that I'll give a little bit of a talk about what the program is, what are the eligibilities of it, who can apply for it, what are some of the documents that we need, and what kind of a program this is. Afterward, I'll take questions. We'll be recording them here, and I can answer them as they come up. So without any further ado, let's dig into it. And let's please just keep the questions, on topic on the summer work and travel program, and we'll make sure to get through as many as possible. So like Gulshan said, my name is Ivan. I come from New York City, and I'm here to talk about the summer work and travel program. Now, this is a program that, of course, it's one of the flagship programs of the State Department. It is for university students, the ones that are still studying, still in universities. Once they finish their academic year, they can spend the summer working in the United States at various jobs and traveling throughout the United States, hence the name, summer work and travel. What this program aims to accomplish is that it aims to facilitate travel of university students to the United States. It aims to provide a place of employment for the summer months of various students in various industries that need them. And it lets students experience the United States. Now, over the summer, once everyone is taking a break from their work, from their studies at university, they can spend 2 or 3 months working in the United States, earning some money, and of course, traveling over there. Now, when I was a university student, which was not too long ago, during the summer months, I was also employed at various places that employed summer work and travel students. Now, I worked as a lifeguard. I worked as a camp counselor. A lot of my colleagues that I worked together with, they were summer work and travel students. A lot of them from Poland, from the Czech Republic, from China, from Russia, from a lot of countries. And they happen to be some of my best friends. So it is very important to note that, of course, the students going there to work for the summer months, they're working with Americans, they're making friends, and a lot of times those friendships can extend past the program. Now, pertaining to summer work and travel eligibility, who is eligible, what the program is looking for. The first thing is that you must speak English, okay? English proficiency is a requirement of the program, and if you have a good level of English in terms of conversation, comprehension, reading, and you're a university student, you are highly encouraged to apply. Now, assessing English proficiency, it will be done during the interview. you will meet with an American consul. I am one of the consuls. So if when you come for an interview, chances are I will be your interviewer. So what we're, in terms of English proficiency, we're not looking for Shakespearean English. Our questions are not very difficult. We're just looking to see if you have a good understanding of the language, comprehending the questions, answering proficiently, just so when you go and you work in the United States, you're able to excel in your summer job, because English proficiency is a must. The second thing is you have to be a university student. Now, what this means is that you have to be a full-time student at an accredited academic institution. Now, fortunately, high school students, students at vocational schools, and part-time students, they will not qualify for the program. The only ones that would qualify are university students that are enrolled full-time in an academic program. Okay. Now, if you have done some work and travel before and you're still a university student, you are welcome to apply again. We highly encourage it. A lot of our very successful applicants have done it more than once. So if you've done it before and if you enjoyed your time in the United States, we highly encourage you to apply. Okay. Now, how to apply for that? Let's say you speak good English, you are a full-time student at an accredited university. How do you apply for the program? Now, there are two ways. One is to reach out to a sponsor in the United States directly. Now, the State Department, we have a list of accredited sponsors on our website. If you search Some Work and Travel sponsors on the State Department, on state.gov, there is a full list of accredited sponsors who are able to get you a placement with an employer in the United States. The second way to apply for the program is through a local facilitator here in Uzbekistan. There are various agencies or travel companies that facilitate travel of some work of university students. They're the ones that can get your documents in order. They can reach out to a sponsor in the United States on your behalf. And they're the ones that can pretty much set up everything. They can take care of scheduling you for an appointment and whatever else you need. This is up to you. Please know that local facilitators, they do charge a certain fee. Now, us in the U.S. Embassy in Tashkent, we do not endorse any facilitator, any agency, but this is your choice. If you want, you can do it by yourself. You can reach out to the U.S. sponsor directly, or you can work with a local facilitator. The choice is really up to you. Okay. Once your job is found in the United States, there are various things that you can do for the summer months. The more popular ones are, because we understand a lot of people, they want to go to New York, they want to go to Los Angeles, but a lot of the jobs are in resort towns all over the United States. A lot of them are in Texas, a lot of them are in North Carolina and South Carolina and Virginia. Some of them are even in Alaska. So if you want to experience a bit of a colder weather, Alaska is the place to go. Normally, in my previous tour, I was in Russia. A lot of the students, they were used to the cold weather, so they were not really afraid to go to Alaska. But from here, it's the winter is much warmer. So if you want to go somewhere where the temperature is colder, Alaska is a place to go to. And some of the jobs, of course, that students do, they can work as lifeguards, they can work as camp counselors, they can work as housekeepers in hotels, or they can work in various bars and restaurants throughout the United States. A lot of them are located in resort towns, so they do have a lot of openings for the summer. Very famous ones are, of course, in Myrtle Beach in South Carolina. A lot of it is Rehoboth Beach in Delaware or Ocean City in Maryland. They employ a lot of summer work and travel students. Or you can work at mountain resorts in the middle of the United States. There are positions as lifeguards, there are positions as housekeepers. So please work with your sponsor. Please work with your facilitator. If you have any particular preferences on the type of employment that you want to do, please work with them directly so they can procure that position for you. Okay, and it's once you're there, you will meet a lot of Americans. It will be a very fast-paced environment. It will be a very fun environment. The summer months are full of excitement, and this summer, 2022, is the first time in 2 years when we're reopening the summer work and travel program. For the last 2 seasons, unfortunately, due to the COVID pandemic, we're not able to open as much appointments. But now, of course, the embassy is reopened. We are accepting summer work and travel students, and we're very, very excited for this summer. Okay. One thing here are just a few things to keep in mind once you're in the United States. All right. Even as a non-resident of the United States, you'll be going on a J1 visa, which is a temporary exchange visitor visa. One thing to keep in mind is that you do have keep in mind of this act. It's called the William Wilberforce Act. It stipulates that you have certain unalienable rights in the United States. You have the right to be paid fairly. You have the right to have good working conditions, and you have the right to be free of discrimination. Please keep that in mind, because even if you're not a full-time resident of the United States, the same laws and rights that apply to Americans, they apply to you as well. Okay? So this means if you go on the summer work and travel program, no one can take your passport away from you. If the place of employment is not what you expected, if the place where you are living is not what you expected, you can always call the numbers, because we normally give a Wilberforce brochure to everyone. There are some certain hotline numbers. You can call us at the American Embassy in Tashkent, or you can call the Uzbek Embassy in Washington, D.C. Because once you're in the United States, that is a good thing to keep in mind. You're a student and you do have your rights in the US, okay? And this brings us to some of the employments that summer work and travel students are not allowed to do, which involves working in casinos, or working as personal nannies, or working during the night. Night shifts are not allowed, okay? Personal nannies, working as a personal nanny, working as a cab driver, that is not allowed based on the program. If an employer is making you work excessive hours, this is against the law and you should report it. Okay, so this is very, very important to keep in mind. One other thing is that once you're in the United States, and if you do happen to switch your job, please let your sponsor know, that your American sponsor, if you happen to switch it, please let them know. A lot of times, if a student switches a job, they receive a new service number. Okay, this is the number on your application. This should always be updated, and it should always be current. If you switch your job and you do not let your American sponsor know, this is a violation of the program rules, and it could result in you not receiving a visa in the future. Okay, so switching a job, it's not against the program rules, but please, you do have to notify your American sponsor. Another thing based on the program, of course, is during the summer months, but please note that missing classes due to the program is not allowed as well. So what this means, whenever your university starts, whenever the official start date of classes, you should be back in Uzbekistan before that. You're not allowed to extend once you're in the United States, because the summer work and travel program is only for the summer. It finishes at the end of the summer, and you must depart the United States and come back to Uzbekistan. Your university degree. Please keep that in mind, because missing classes, we work with a lot of universities. We know when classes start. If we do not, we can reach out to those universities and we can ask them. So please, when you come for the interview, let us know when they start, and you have to be back before that. Coming back after classes have already begun, it's a violation. It is against the rules of the program. Okay. And what else? One thing that a lot of students that I've seen before, a lot of folks are very nervous. It is the interview at the American Embassy. Okay. So I know it's everyone's favorite part. It's everyone's favorite part to talk to us. So here are just some things to keep in mind, just to make it as smooth as possible, just so you can come, you can receive a time of service, and afterward, you can return to university and with either visa or not. So here's some things to keep in mind. Okay. Now, during the interview, the most important thing, we'll be conducting it in English because some work and travel program, it requires English proficiency. During the interview, please be honest. I cannot emphasize this enough. Please be honest. A lot of times, for most things that we're asking you, we already know the answer to it. Okay? We already know the answer. We're testing if you'll be honest with us. Please list your American employer correctly. Please list your university correctly. If you have any foreign travel, please list it correctly. If you've been to the US, if you have family in the United States, please list it. The application must be fully complete before you come in. Arriving with an incomplete application can hinder your process, and it can lead to the applicant not receiving a visa. It is very, very important to complete the application fully. And please be honest. Please keep in mind, before you come to the interview, we already know the answers. Okay, we're asking you to test your English, and we're asking you to verify. Okay. Now, signing up for a slot, how this is going to work. Okay. If you are doing it by yourself and you're going with an American sponsor, you can email us directly at consular Tashkent at state.gov. Please, on the subject line, list that you are a summer work and travel J1 applicant, and we will seek to schedule you a slot. If you are applying through a agency or a travel facilitator, the travel facilitators, of course, the process will be the same as last time. Okay, they can email us directly with a list of their applicants, and we'll work with them to find a suitable time for their students to come in. Okay, this is a very important program. We want students to be able to travel to the United States to participate in the program, and we'll do everything we can in order to give them a timely slots. All right. So what we require is, of course, the full list of the participants with the names, with the passport numbers, and we'll work with the agency directly to schedule them for an interview. And if you're applying by yourself, you can email us by yourself. That is all right as well. And we'll work with you to schedule you an interview. Okay. Other things to keep in mind. Now we're wrapping up the presentation, so I'll be able to answer some of the questions. Of course, the bare bones things. All right, you have to speak English, and you have to be a full-time student at an accredited institution. During the interview, please be honest. All right, we have a lot of experience interviewing some work and travel students. Okay. So we understand that people are nervous, okay, and that's all right. You can tell us. We understand, okay. So, but there's no substitute for honesty. Everyone must be honest when coming for an interview. And at the end of the day, if you happen to get a visa and you go to the United States, that's really nice. Enjoy your time. Follow the rules of the program, and then we expect you to come back and complete your degree. If you do not get a visa, then the following year you can apply for it again. It's all right if you're not successful during the interview. It happens. But please keep in mind that this is not a lottery. Applying again does not guarantee a different answer. Please keep in mind this is not a lottery. Coming back again will not lead to a different answer. You can apply the following year for the program again. Okay? And if you do happen to travel, please, I guess reach out to us. We would love to hear how you enjoyed it, where you went. If someone went to the places where I worked, I would be very happy to hear. I would be very happy to hear if some of my colleagues are still there working. So we're very excited. And sometimes the questions that we ask, we're very curious too. What you want to do in the United States, where you want to travel, because this is exciting for us. We remember our own student days, okay? And yeah, I guess without further ado, I can answer some of your questions, and then later on, if you have any questions about the program, about what to do in the United States, I can talk a little more about that, because there are some things to keep in mind about the culture, which things are done a little differently. So I can talk about that too. But let's answer a few questions.
Thank you so much, Ivan. We have many questions to you. So let's start from the beginning. Our first question is from Islam Asharaf. He's asking, when we're going to the US in May, should we buy return tickets, or can we buy it in September when we're coming back home?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, normally when traveling to the United States, you must have a definite return date planned. You should know when your school is starting, and you should be prepared to come back before the classes start. So buying the tickets is really up to you, but a solid return date is required, okay? Because you're not allowed to miss classes, and you have to be back before classes start.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Next question is from Abbaskhon Hadjaev. Please confirm start and dates of work and travel program for season 2022 for each university in Uzbekistan in order to indicate on DS forms 2019.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the DS 2019 form, the start and end date, they will have to start after your university finished the classes for the year, and it must end before your classes, okay? So please work with either your travel facilitator or your American sponsor in order to identify what dates those are. They will be sometime in May, most likely, and they will end sometime in September, most likely. But the exact dates, okay, they should be populated by the place of employment. They're the ones or the sponsor, they're the ones that issued the DS 2019 form. And once you come to the interview, you should have the form with you. We'll check it and we'll check the dates. But populating the dates, that is up to the place of employment and the sponsor to confirm. And one thing I didn't mention is that once you come into the embassy, have your passport and have the original DS 2019, okay? Because once you have it, we'll have to sign it, we'll have to stamp it in order for it to be official. So please, copies are not acceptable. Please make sure you bring the original forms.
Good point. Thank you. So Olim John Rustamov is asking, please talk about state universities' chances if you're studying a state university and green card effects. Thanks.
Okay. Yes. So any university, that's very important to mention. Olim John, thank you so much for your question. Any university student, if you are a full-time student at an accredited university, you can apply. It doesn't have to be a private university. It doesn't have to be a public university. If you go to a state university, if you go to a national university, please apply. You're more than welcome to apply. We'll accept you. You have the right to apply, okay? So this is very important to keep in mind because, of course, from the previous programs, a lot of the students are applying. Most of them were from private institutions. But this is very important to note that even if you go to a national university or if you go to a state university, you can still apply for the program. And the second part of your question, green card effects, if you've, in terms of relating to the program, if you have applied for a green card in the green card lottery, this is something like completely separate. It is an immigrant visa. So we're looking to see if you follow the rules of this program. Okay, you can apply for this program, and you can also apply for the green card lottery. It's okay. That's all right. It if the consul asks, did you apply for the lottery? Well, answer honestly. Yes, you did, or no, you did not. That's fine. It doesn't have any effect on whether you qualify for the summer work and travel program. So this, please just keep that in mind. Okay.
Thank you. Next question. When will the embassy open for J1 visa?
Okay. The embassy for the J1 visa, we'll start accepting summer work and travel students, and we'll try to schedule them for appointment in March. So from the beginning of March, going all the way down to May, even sometimes early June. For those 3 or so months, we'll start accepting summer work and travel students. Okay. Most of them received their interviews in April, end of April, beginning of May. But please keep in mind, because of COVID, that's why we're opening them a little bit sooner. So we'll start from March. March 1st, I think it's a Tuesday. That will be the first official date when you can email us, you can ask for an appointment slot, and then we'll work to schedule one for you. Okay.
Thank you. I know you mentioned that, but we have several questions. Maybe you can repeat. Madina Banu Rahimova is asking, hi, will summer work and travel 2022 happen? And Asadbek is asking, may summer work and travel be canceled due to COVID-19 this year?
Yeah, thank you, Gulshan. Thank you, everyone, for the questions. I understand this is a very big concern, especially given the COVID-19 pandemic. The summer work and travel 2022 is moving forward. We're doing everything we can to host it, and as of right now, it is open. This year, summer work and travel will take place. We'll accept J1 students. Okay, so please, summer work and travel 2022 is happening. Okay, we understand the last 2 years, unfortunately, we were not able to do it. But this year, we're back. The program is back, and we're waiting for you to apply for it.
Good. Next question from Kama UZ. I'm participating in Global U Grad program semester in the USA in September. Can I mix those two programs?
Global U Grad in September. Yeah, the thing is, there are two separate programs. For one, you need a J1 visa. The other one is a J1 visa as well. However, the service number is different for both of them, so you would have to come back for an interview and present the new DS 2019 form. Okay, that one will also require a signature. That one will also require a stamp. So yes, you can participate in both programs, but just keep in mind that they're separate. They're separate requirements, and they're separate forms that we'll have to see, that we'll have to verify. Okay. So you'll probably have to come to us 2 times, but that's all right. We're nice people. We'll be very happy to see you again. So you can participate in those 2 programs, but keep in mind they're separate programs and they need separate documents.
Thank you. Nur Muhammad Kamalazinov is asking, will we have an interview with you?
Oh yes, you will. There are a number of us, a number of consuls. I'll be one of them. So if you're lucky, you'll probably get me. I'm the best. No, I'm kidding. It will be either me or my colleagues. We're all very experienced, very professional. We have all done this for a very long time. And one thing that we can all agree on, we love the summer work and travel program. We like to speak with students. We like to hear what you're going to do. So once you sign up for an interview, you will get one of us. Okay, it might be me, it might be one of my colleagues. We're all excited to see you, and we'll be very happy to talk to you. So keep in mind, you might get me. So just say hello. Say you saw me at the chai chat.
Great, thank you. Shahzad Kurbanov is asking, is it possible to get visa if I have some fails in university exams?
Yeah, exactly. It's possible. It's very possible. Now, this is something that I forgot to mention during on kind of what to bring to the embassy. In order to verify that you're a full-time student, okay, of course you need your passport, you need your DS-2019 form, but we do have to see your student card, all right, where your grades are seen. If you have failed some classes, that's all right. We understand it happens. If you're asked about it, just be honest. Say, well, it was a tough semester, or the classes were very hard, but you can still apply. You can still apply for the program. Okay. Um, and this is just for everyone. Please, of course, passports, DS-2019 forms, and just to verify that you're a student, that you have a full course of study. Please bring your student cards. Okay. If some of the grades are not as good as you want them to be, you can always explain it during the interview. That's why you have an interview. We can ask, or you can just say, "May I explain?" And then you can tell us, "Hey, what happened during that semester?" It's fine. Even if some of the grades are not the best, it's okay. It doesn't mean that you're disqualified for the program. You should still apply. This is still an option.
Thank you. Javlon Kurban Babaev is asking, can I apply for summer work and travel by myself?
Mm-hmm. Yes, yeah, for sure. If you want to do it by yourself, that's perfectly normal. What you want to do is go to our website, state.gov, and please research summer work and travel sponsors. Okay, you want to reach out to the sponsor by yourself, and they will be the one to procure a place of employment for you. So you can apply to summer work and travel by yourself. You have to reach out to a sponsor by yourself. And then after you have an employment, they've issued you the DS-2019 form. Send us an email, consular.tashkent@state.gov. Our email is available on our website as well. So send us an email saying that you do have your form, your DS-2019 form, and you're a summer work and travel participant. Please schedule me for an interview. And then one of our staff members will work with you directly on the best when we have an availability, so you can come to have your interview. So just to answer your question, yes, you can apply by yourself, and this is what you need to do. Okay.
Thank you. Question from Abe Sadzi. As you might know, on December 2021, the Secretary of State with DHS has authorized consular officers through the end of 2022 to waive the in-person interview requirement for certain temporary non-immigrant visa applicants who have a petition approved by the US CIS, such as H1 and also F, J visas. Some embassies like India applying Dropbox appointments to make use of the new interview waiver authority. What about our US embassy?
Okay. The interview waiver requirement does not extend to summer work and travel appointments. Okay. If you're applying for summer work and travel, J1, an interview is required. The extension of interview waiver appointments, this does not affect the summer work and travel ones. This affects B1, B2, summer tourism. It affects H's. It affects F's and J's in the sense that if people are just continuing their studies, if it's a program with an American university that is long term, then that would apply. But summer work and travel does not qualify for an interview waiver. And every applicant, even the ones who have been to summer work and travel before, they must present to the American embassy for an interview appointment.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for clarification, Ron. Next question from Guzal Shaymuradova. Are MA students eligible for summer work and travel?
Yes, yes. Master students are eligible for summer work and travel. Of course, you have to be a full-time student still. We'll take a look at your grade book, your student book. So yes, yeah, you are. We'll be happy to see you. If you're a master student, what I like to ask, if you do any research, can you tell me about that? Because I'm very interested. Some of master students are fascinating, very fascinating. And some of their research is phenomenal. So if you come to me, I might ask you what you do for your research. But yes, master students are, you can apply for the program.
Thank you. Nur Muhammad is asking, is the Intrax work and travel agency reliable enough? I don't know if you can advertise or talk about agencies.
I mean, I cannot. Summer work and travel does not. No, the State Department does not. We do not endorse any agencies. So it is really up to you to choose an agency that you want to work for. We cannot speak to anyone in particular, unfortunately.
Thank you. Dildora Nurulaev is asking, when can the agency start submitting lists of participants for consular interview?
March 1st, 2022. March 1st will be the first day when we'll start accepting emails for summer work and travel participants. So please mark it on your calendar, March 1st, Tuesday, March 1st, 2022. That is the date when the program begins. That is the date when you can start emailing us.
Thank you. Will all students that have DS 2019 form sponsor be able to get visa interview appointments?
That is part of the reason why we're kind of starting a little bit early, just to make sure that everyone with a DS 2019 form gets a visa appointment. And one thing to keep in mind is that after the interview, whether a person receives a visa or does not receive a visa, if a person does not receive a visa, please keep in mind that we're trying to make sure that every student receives at least one appointment. For a second appointment, the answer most likely will not be any different. This is not a lottery. That's why if you do not happen to get a visa, you're welcome to apply next year. Okay. There are a lot of students that are very interested for it. We want to make sure that everyone gets an appointment. So that is why we're setting aside a certain time. And we're working very, very hard to make sure that every student that wants to participate can come and receive an interview appointment.
Thank you. Asad Bek is asking that he made an appointment for March 4th. Is it okay, or should he change it to a later date?
That's fine. We're starting on March 1st, so March 4th, I think that's a Friday. You'll be okay. You'll be okay. Just make sure bring your passport, bring your DS 2019 form, and bring your grade book, bring your student book, and we'll be happy to see you at the interview. So you don't have to change it. You have an appointment already. Good for you. We'll be happy to see you. Okay.
We already mentioned that, but if you could repeat that. Hello, Mr. Ivan. Does participating in green card lottery affect your J1 visa approval?
No, it does not. J1, you have the option to apply for both. You have the option to apply for one, or you have the option to apply for another. It does not affect your eligibility. If the consul asks you, did you apply? Just be honest. Yes, I did. That's fine. So it's important to understand that these are two different programs. Okay, you can apply for the diversity visa lottery. You can apply for summer work and travel. It's normal. A lot of people do it. So yes, you can do it.
Thank you. We received a question from Umida Karimova in Uzbek, but I'll translate it to you. Hello. How important knowing language in this program?
Yeah, it is one of the. Thank you, Mira. Rahmat. Yeah, my Uzbek is. I'm working on it still. English proficiency it's a must in this program. This program is one of the two requirements is that yes, one is you have to be a university student full time, and the other one you do have to speak English. So English proficiency is a requirement. It's very, very important. So if you do not speak English right now and you want to participate, you can just give yourself some time. You can practice your English, and you can apply again next year. But English proficiency, it's very, very important for the program, and it's one of the core requirements for it.
Thank you. Fazliddin Baykhonov is asking, which factors affect getting J1 visa?
Yeah, so for the factors, of course, the two main ones, of course, we're looking for English speakers. All right, so please make sure that your English is good, that you can answer questions fully. The second one is make sure that you're a full-time student. All right, a full-time student is, of course, you can prove it with your university book. If you're not taking a full semester's classes, then you might want to explain that because you have to be a full-time student. And of course, the other thing is knowledge of your profession, of your job in the United States, what you want to do there, how you want to spend your time there, what does the employer expect of you. So these are some of the questions that we'll be asking, and we do expect you to know, of course, your employment. We'll expect you to explain it fully in English. We're expecting you to explain your studies. What do you study? What do you want to do in the future? So those are some of the factors that affect eligibility and whether you will receive or not a J1 visa.
Thank you. Next question is from Farukh Tokhtamishov. I have a question regarding last year students of university, I guess senior students. Will there be any news or higher chance to get their visa approved since they're waiting for 2 years?
Yeah, I mean, there will not be a higher chance that everyone will have an equal chance to receive a visa to come for an interview. There's no preferential treatment. We understand that the past 2 years we're not able to conduct the program or open interviews given the COVID-19 pandemic, but this year we are, and we're encouraging people to apply. Now, if you're a last year student, since you're a full-time student, you still have the chance to apply. You still have the chance to submit your documents. But one thing to keep in mind is that a core requirement of the program is that after the program is complete, the person will return to Uzbekistan. So we're looking at what you want to do afterward. Okay, whether if you have a job lined up or if you're taking some more classes, that's all right as well. So please, if you're a last year student, if you're a senior, you can still apply for the summer work and travel program. But please make sure that you're able to explain fully what you plan to do afterward, whatever that is. You can go for a master's degree, you can maybe get a job or something. So that will most likely be a question of the consular officer.
Thank you. Alisher Khalimov is asking, is it possible to participate in the summer work and travel when we're the first year student in the high school?
Oh, well, unfortunately not. I appreciate the enthusiasm, Alisher. But yeah, high school students, unfortunately, are not able to participate. But 4 years from now, after you finish high school, 11th grade or 12th grade, and you go into university, we'll be happy to see you, okay? Because this is only for university students. So once you finish your high school, your lycée, as it's called here, and you attend university, please apply for us. We'll be happy to have you. We'll be happy to interview you.
And question related to the previous one from Guzal: is there any age limitations?
No age limitations. If you're a student, it doesn't matter if you're 20, 30, 40, 50 maybe. If you're a full-time student, okay, you can apply for the program. There's no age limitations, okay? The one thing we're looking for is that you are a full-time university student. So even if you've started university studies a little bit later, that's okay too. You can still apply. You can still participate in it.
Thank you. Amin is asking, what if I have scheduled my visa appointment already and the embassy will be closed again?
There's no, as of now, we're conducting appointments every day pertaining to, consular services are fully open. As of right now, maybe it's a little bit too early to tell, but as of now, we do not have any information that things will change in the future. So this is very important to keep in mind that We are open. We are conducting consular appointments. There's a big waiting time because for the past 2 years, given the pandemic, appointments were very, very limited. That is why now the lines are a little bit longer, but that's all right. With time, we'll get through it. Okay. People have been waiting for a long time, but now we're open. So little by little, you know, appointments are, of course, getting filled up. We're conducting interviews, and that's really good. And of course, now the summer work and travel program is opening again, so we'll be able to accommodate you.
Thank you. Question from Babur Abdikhalilov, very important during the pandemic times. Do we have to be vaccinated?
Traveling to the United States, you do have to be vaccinated, but that is you will have to check that with what was it, the Customs and Border Protection, because for the interview we do not ask for vaccination requirements or paperwork, but once you buy a ticket to go to the United States, you do have to show proof of vaccination. So traveling to the United States, it's very important to know that a person has to be vaccinated for it. But while you're in Uzbekistan, once you're applying for a visa, you do not have to be. Only when you physically travel to the United States.
Okay, thank you. Several people are asking about the deadline for registration. Do we already have the deadline?
The deadline for registration, of course, I mean, we're opening on March 1st. The deadline, it will go until most likely early June. As of now, it's open. It depends on how many applicants we receive, how many slots we have. That's why, of course, we have a few months. But now there's no strict deadline. All right, you can still apply for it even into the summer. All right, but when we begin, it's March 1st. Okay, and it will go until around early June.
Thank you. Kamila Khalilova is asking, what can we do now if we already booked appointment on March 1st, but it's stated that it's impossible to make appointment before March 15th?
So for the J1 visa program, you can email us directly and we'll work to schedule an appointment for you. The way we do that, of course, we prioritize J1 summer work and travel participants in order to ensure that they do have slots. So now, making appointment before March 15th, there's still appointments that are opened from time to time. So please be on the lookout for those. All right. We understand that there are a lot of people trying to schedule an appointment. So that's why we urge patience for everyone. But if you're a summer work and travel participant, you can email us directly. And then after March 1st, you can email us directly and we'll work to schedule you an appointment. Okay.
Thank you. Next question is from Asrora Zodov. Dear Vice Consul, thank you for organizing this chat. We really appreciate it. Some of the universities are not approved by Department of State, namely Amity and Webster universities in Tashkent. We would really appreciate if someone from the embassy reaches out to the Department of State and confirms summer breaks for these universities. Thank you very much.
Yeah, so someone, let's see, reaches out to you, confirm summer breaks for these universities. I mean, whenever the summer breaks are for you, it really is up to the university in order to determine that. We do not, it is not our responsibility to, of course, tell the universities when. It is up to them to determine based on their faculties, their studies, and everything else. How this affects us is that we have to make sure that the program falls between those dates. So it is really up to the applicant to work with their universities in order to determine when the break starts and when the break finishes, and then communicate that with their sponsor. Okay. So if the summer break is a little odd, like it's extends later than usual, Then during the interview, we'll probably ask you about that. Well, you'll probably have to explain it, and we'll confirm the information. So summer breaks, they're determined by the universities, and it is up to the applicant to make sure that they can do it within their summer break. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you. Abdullahon Marufkhanov is asking, does state and city of job offer play a role in getting visa? For example, Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. If you, it does not. I know that the employers are all over the United States, and wherever you get in a place of employment, of course, most of the time people have a very fun time no matter where they go. But in terms of playing a role, it does not. We're excited to see where you're going. So if you're going to Pittsburgh, that's good for you if you're excited. But no, place of employment, city, state, it does not really play a role in getting a visa or not.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Question from Sarvar.
Mm-hmm.
Said Kromov, should we wait for the results of the second semester exam?
Second semester, you don't have to. That's why we started. What do you call it? That's why we start interviews a little bit earlier. You don't have to wait until the end of the semester in order to apply. Please plan ahead and make sure that, of course, you're scheduled before the program starts. So you don't have to wait until the second semester's exams. That's not necessary.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you. Gulnoz Rustamova is asking, how will we apply? Can you send the link here?
The link? I mean, afterward, I guess we can post the our email address.
Yes.
It's available, yeah, on our U.S. Embassy site, U.S. Embassy in Tashkent. If you enter it in Google, for visa issues, of course, we have the general email address. You can send us an email over there. But yeah, afterward, if anything, we can just post it in after the chat just to make it easier on everybody.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Abdukarim Valijanov is asking, can we participate in this program without any agencies which are located in Uzbekistan?
Yeah, for sure. You don't have to work with an agency in Uzbekistan. You can apply with your sponsor directly in the United States. Even there are some agencies that are located in the United States that are helping students in Uzbekistan secure appointments. So you can work with your sponsor directly. You can just Google the list of sponsors from the State Department, and you can by yourself email the sponsor and work with them in order to get a position in the United States for the summer. You don't have to work with any agencies in Uzbekistan if you don't want to. If you want to, that's good. That's good for you. If you don't want to, that's also good. It doesn't have any effect on your eligibility, whether you get a visa or so forth.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Some personal situation. My brother is going to apply for work and travel 2022. I'm his brother and I'm a former J1 visa holder from 2019. However, I overstayed my visa after the program and got married, and I'm still in the USA. For now, I have my combo card, AED, work authorization and travel card. Soon will be receiving my green card. My question, what are his chances of getting J1 visa for 2022 summer? Personally, would you approve him or not?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Begzal, thank you so much. I think it's very, very early for you over there in the United. If you're calling from the US, it's probably really early right now. I know it's 10 hours. If you're in the East Coast, it's like 7 a.m. So wow, you got up early. Pertaining to, I cannot speak directly on individual situations. Every applicant is different. Every applicant is an individual. So this will determine if your brother is applying. He has all the rights to apply for the program. Okay, his application is individual. It is not affected by anyone else's. All right. So once we interview someone, it's based on the individual. Okay. And of course, we understand this goes back to filling out the application fully. All right. So if a lot of the questions are, of course, where you're going to work, And there's one that if you have family in the United States, and a lot of times what leads to people not getting a visa is not being honest about it. All right. So if a lot of times we already know if someone has or does not have a family in the United States. We know that. So if he's filling out the application, he would have to list that yes, he has a family, and this is not a preclusion. It's okay to have a family in the United States, but it's important to be honest and list them in the application. All right, so that's we cannot speak on individual cases, but for everyone, we must everyone must be honest. And good morning to you. Hopefully the coffee is strong.
Thank you. Rustam John Rafeev is asking, can we work in 2 or 3 jobs at the same time?
Ooh, I mean, that I would have to look up. I'm sure the sponsor can clarify. For 2 or 3 jobs, this will go into the 3 jobs. I don't know. I'm not sure. For 2, I would have to double check because your sponsor would have to be aware of it, and you would have to have the service number for it. All right. In some of the previous applications, there were a few students who worked in more than one job. I would have to double check on the program. I would have to double check on that. But one thing that I'm 100% sure of is that your sponsor would have to know about this because they would have to make sure that you do have the service number. If you do not, then this will be a violation. A lot of times, students do not realize that they're violating the program. And a lot of it is because they didn't let their sponsor know. So this is something that can be avoided. Okay. So no matter what job you accept, even if you get 2 jobs, I'll double check if that's allowed. But you have to let your sponsor know. Okay. Because if you receive a violation, it's very hard to overcome it afterward. And especially if it's a violation like this, which is easily avoidable. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you. Next question from Muhammad Ali. There might be people from Uzbekistan studying abroad like Korea or Japan. Can these students apply for work and travel program in those countries?
Yes. What was it? That's one thing I didn't mention. If you are studying abroad in, I don't know, Korea or Japan, you can apply there in those embassies. You would have to just double check because I'm not sure what their requirements are in terms of COVID-19. Not every country is in the same. Some embassies have a little more strict hours based on COVID rates in their countries. So I'm not sure how they are in Korea or Japan. So please, you can always email them and ask what their appointment hours are. But as a summer work and travel participant, if you are studying in Korea or Japan, you can apply for the visa over there. And same for different citizens of different countries in Uzbekistan. If you are attending a university here in Uzbekistan, and if you are a Russian citizen, Kazakh citizen, or from Kyrgyzstan, you can apply here with us in Tashkent. Okay. If you're attending an Uzbek university, even if you are a citizen of a foreign country, you can come and apply for us. All right. If you're studying in Uzbekistan, you can come to us in Tashkent.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Can you tell us which type of jobs do you have in the US in this program?
What jobs? Okay. All righty. Thank you. All right. So, what type of jobs in the USA for the program? So, the types of jobs, of course, they have to be. They can be in the summer jobs that are most likely seen at the resort cities. You can work in a restaurant. You can work. You can work in at fairs. A lot of the resort towns, they do have rides and theme parks. You can work over there. You can be a waiter, a ticket collector. You can be a lifeguard over there. If you work in a hotel, you can be a bartender, a waiter. You can be a housekeeper as well. So those are some of the most common jobs for the summer work and travel program. They're very, very fun. You meet a lot of young people. You meet a lot of people from different countries, and you make a lot of friends. But some of the ones that are not allowed, you're not allowed to be a cab, taxi driver. You're not allowed to, and taxi driver, it includes Uber, it includes Yandex, it includes My Taxi. You're not allowed to do it in the summer work and travel program, and you're not allowed to work in a casino or in a casino, and of course in related activities. So in a casino, a lot of it, sometimes they have like a restaurant and casino. If you're working in one of those places, you have to be working in the restaurant. So because we understand a lot of the resort towns, they do have the name of the business. It includes casino. And if you happen to be a waiter in the restaurant, that's okay. But we'll ask you about that, and you'll have to explain to us.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Ivan. I know we're going over time. What do you think if we take like a question or two and then we'll wrap up?
Yeah. I mean, a couple more questions, and then we can wrap up. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. So Bektimir Tavakalov is asking how parents' occupation matters for visa approval.
Parents' occupation does not matter. It's I don't know if we ask you about it, you can tell us, but it doesn't really matter for visa approvals. All right, so you're applying for it and not your parents.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Bihruz is asking, does a work and travel participant can easily get touristic visa after several years?
Mm-hmm. So for work and travel participant and tourist visa, of course, separate things. You can apply for both. How it can help is that if you have been a summer work and travel participant and you used your visa well, that is very good. And once you apply for a tourist visa, it is very nice to see because it shows that you're a credible traveler. It shows that you have used the visa well. So that's one thing to keep in mind. They're separate, but if you've used one visa well, it bodes favorably for the future. It doesn't mean that a person will get or not get a visa, but the most important thing is using the visa correctly.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Ivan. Last question.
All right.
Can last year students participate in program?
Yes, sir. Last year students are more than welcome to apply again. We want to see you, and of course, we might ask you, where did you go last year? Because we're excited to see what you did. So even if you have done this for a second time, you can do it again.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much, Ivan. We cannot keep you longer. We have so many questions today and so many viewers, but it was very, very important for us and a lot of useful information for you. Thank you so much, Ivan.
All right. Thank you, Goshan. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you at the interview. All right. Please apply. We're very excited. March 1st, we'll begin, and Summer Work and Travel is back in business. Okay. We'll be happy to see you.
Thanks, everyone, for questions. And if you didn't receive the answer, we probably answered it before, so watch the video again. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.